think I got myself together. Yeah, that made it worse. So, don't watch this if you're about ready to fly anywhere. I repeat, don't watch this if you're about ready to fly anywhere. So, like, the first time I flew since I was a little kid, I was back in '06, and I flew from Detroit to DC. Flight there, no problem. A little bit of turbulence, but no worse than driving on Michigan roads. Michigan roads are very bumpy. Very bumpy. So we get to DC. DC was a good experience. Got to see everything. If you get a chance, go to DC. DC is the memorials, the museums, the shopping. Everything is really cool there. So we were leaving DC. We get the plane that I got in. Kind of looked like had the kind of the feeling like of an old car, and I was like, okay. Well, I mean, hey, I don't get a new car every time my car gets old. I use that thing until it pretty much disintegrates. Because I do that. And I figured, hey, they do the same thing with planes. No big deal. I've traveled with one of my friends from Detroit, and call her Mel. So I traveled with Mel to DC, if I can talk. And I was traveling back. Well, she was going to have a procedure done the next following week, so she was on a full liquid diet, getting prepped for that procedure. And I was just like, okay. So we get in the plane, and we start taxiing down the runway. Well, the plane starts vibrating like that. Like, really bad. And I'm like, huh? What's going on here? And I looked at her, and she had this look of sudden fear. Like, I was like, oh, okay, that's not good. I mean, this lady, at that point, I hadn't traveled much. And at that point, she had traveled a lot. And I was like, alright, this is bad. This is really bad. So they turned the plane around, and we sat on the plane for a few minutes, and the pilot said, okay, everybody has to get off so we can check it out, see what's wrong with it. It's like, okay, that's fine. So we all get off, sit in the airport for another 4 hours. They gave us drinks, they gave us a voucher for dinner. They tried their best to make lemonade there out of that lemon situation. Well, this is where it really gets fun. We all get back on the plane, and as we're getting back on the plane, the guy says, oh, we don't have time to test the plane without you guys on it. So you guys have to get back on the plane, and if it shakes, then we'll put you up in a hotel. If it doesn't, we'll head out to Detroit. I heard that, but I didn't really process it. I'm like, what did he say? He didn't really say that, did he? What? So I asked Mel. She's like, yeah, I really said that. I'm like, let's get up. She's like, no, it's okay. We'll be fine. Don't worry. So get on the pilot says, oh no, we would never do that. We would never do that, because that would be illegal, and we would never do that. I'm like, okay, pilot, sure, okay. And so we head down the runway, no shaky shake. We're like, okay, good, we're good. Well, me and Mel were in business class because we needed more comfortable seating, I'll put it that way. And she says, it'll be fine. And the plane started to shake the slower we got up to altitude. And I looked over and I'm like, nah. And she's like, it's okay. It's alright until they turn the floor lights on. It's fine until they turn the floor lights on. 2 seconds later, they turned the floor lights on. I looked over and I'm like, and she says, no, it's okay. Until the pilot comes over the speaker and says that, so the pilot comes over the speaker and says that there's a problem. I said, oh, okay. 2 seconds later, the pilot says, guys, I think we're having some difficulties here in the mechanics of the plane. We're all like, you know, the word running across your forehead that Mama wants you to say. Yeah, that word. We're like, oh. And she says, The pilot says, so we'll just turn around and head back to Detroit. Don't worry about it. Okay? So I looked at her, I looked at Mel, and I was like, eh. She's like, it's okay, it's alright. And then at this point, she's a little bit freaking out. And she was on the outside. She was on the aisle seat, and I was on the window seat. And the stewardess, was pretty African-American stewardess, comes up and pats Mel's arm and says, sweetie, it'll be okay. I'm praying we'll be just fine. Remember that stewardess.